Okay, guys, things are getting really weird with the Nazca mummies. Two of the Nazca mummies have just been classified, or information pertaining to those bodies have been classified. Let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, this is nuts, guys. But first of all, let's start with the good news. Scientists studying alien mummies from Peru claim bodies are 100% real after new details emerge. This is from an article from the Daily Mail. Dr. Jose Zalce, former director of the Mexican Navy Medical Department, very credible guy, has analyzed 21 of the strange bodies, finding fingerprints, bone wear, dental formations, muscular features, and internal organs, proving they're 100% real biological organisms. He even claimed some were pregnant. Well, he didn't claim they were pregnant. They were pregnant, including, of course, Montserrat. Very fascinating specimen among the Nazca beings, with a big golden disc in her head, human-sized more or less, but with different physiology, including an elongated skull, with what would have been a larger brain. And she was pregnant at the time that she passed. And they call the being that she was pregnant with Raphael. And yeah, you can see images of Raphael down here. Here he is in the body, and here he is here. This is all from the website, thealienproject.com. Here are the various scans and tests of him, including where you can see that Raphael appears to be tridactyl, like his mother. A tridactyl fetus inside a tridactyl being, obviously impossible to fake. So, yeah, as Dr. Salce says, making them impossible to fake or replicate fraudulently. Absolutely. So, yeah, great stuff. The Nazca mummies are continuing to make news, at least in places like the Daily Mail. Obviously, you know, this deserves front page news around the world. We've got bodies, y'all. We've got bodies. We've got bodies of NHI that are in Peru, maybe some in Mexico, being studied by credible scientists from around the world, from Japan, Canada, the United States, of course, South America, from all over, credible scientists, including Dr. John McDowell, who won the equivalent of the Nobel Prize in forensic science. The very man who Gary Nolan himself said is the exact sort of man we need, or person we need to be leading the charge in the investigation into the Nazca mummies. So great scientists and doctors studying the Nazca mummies, authenticating them as genuine, once living beings. So, of course, the cover-up is going to happen, right? I mean, the Ministry of Culture has already done such a good job of covering this stuff up, and denying it and debunking it, and, talking about the dolls that are actually dolls that nobody claimed were anything other than dolls, including the guy that made them at the Peruvian hearing. All of their evidence was geared around the dolls that nobody thinks is anything other than that. It drives me crazy. And then when the real scientists and doctors that study the actual mummies were giving their presentation, their mics were having trouble. I don't know if that was deliberate or not. But okay, so getting to the classified part of this. This is from Jaime Masan. The Ministry of Culture of Peru has classified the data derived from the radiological report of the tridactyl beings of Nazca, specifically Maria and Wawita, because it does not suit its interest, when the planet should know these results and begin a global study of these non-human beings. Hell yeah. And to some extent, they've already got this, but he's absolutely right. This needs to be front page news everywhere. The leading scientists in the world, we've already got one or two of them, but we need more of them, need to be on this in a huge public way. This is the biggest news basically ever in the history of the human race, or not, beyond the human race, that we are not alone. Not only are we not alone, but we have the bodies of those that we are not alone with. And some of those beings may still be with us, but they were certainly with the people of Peru thousands of years ago. Now, how long ago exactly? Well, apparently they're trying to classify that. The radiological report of the tridactyl beings of Nazca are being classified by the Ministry of Culture of Peru. Radiological report, that's the how old these things are. Carbon 14 dating, explain. Radiocarbon dating, I'm assuming that's what we're talking about, and we're specifically talking about Wawita, who is the infant being, a very interesting being that was found, with the Nazca mummies, and yet unlike any of the others. But it does compare with Star Child and some other specimens that have been found. It is tridactyl, this is Wawita is interesting because it is the only one that I know of that among the ones that are considered credible, real specimens, where the fingers might have been mutilated. The hands and feet are three fingers, but probably mutilated. And why that's interesting is because it's clearly a non-human. Look at the skull on Wawita. So it's a being who was manipulated to be tridactyl for some reason. And why that is remains a mystery. But it is the only one, again, among the legitimate Nazca beings or the anomalous beings discovered that does appear to have been manipulated to be tridactyl. And yet, continues to be anomalous. It wasn't a human that was mutilated to be tridactyl. It was an anomalous being that was mutilated, likely to be even more anomalous, possibly to make it resemble the other beings. Like, Maria, probably the most famous of the Nazca beings, because she's the most human-like, or, before Montserrat showed up, and the others like Montserrat, she was the most human-looking one, and very anomalous, different physiology than humans, appears to be a hybrid with different genetics, some human, some simian, and some unknown. True hybrid being likely created by the abducting race or races that are still abducting people and creating hybrids today. She and the others have implants, much like human abductees have implants given to them by the abducting race, and the abducting race or races are interested in creating hybrids just like they were thousands of years ago. But again, why are they trying to classify how old these beings are? I don't get that. We know how old they are, or, I think Maria is like 1,500 years old or something like that. I forget how old Wawita is. Does it say in here how old she is, or it is? Let's see. I'm not seeing that here. Yeah, 25% human DNA, according to that, which is interesting. Of course, we need more DNA, but and I've talked about the limitations and the problems with DNA research and analysis before, but either way, fascinating stuff. So why are they trying to classify the radiocarbon dating, if indeed that's what's going on with Wawita and Maria, when we've already, it's publicly known how old these beings are? I don't get that. So I think I'm missing something. There's something lost in translation. But Jaime Maussan is saying, the Ministry of Culture has classified the data derived from the radiological report of Maria in Wawita because it does not suit its interest when the planet should know these results and begin a global study of these non-human beings. It should be noted that the report states that they are real tridactyl organisms and that they were not manipulated or armed. And armed just means manipulated. That's the translation. And he's right. They are not manipulated other than Wawita. Wawita may have been manipulated. I don't know if we have confirmation on that. Here's the presentation of the radiologist. We're probably discussing the age of Wawita. So what's going on, guys? What's going on? And it's also very frustrating. It was Joyce Mantilla who not long ago was saying, I have also learned that the professors and researchers of the Inca University are working on a formula to achieve a better understanding with the officials of the Ministry of Culture, leaving behind the tensions and accusations. Let's trust and see. So not long ago, and that was January 23rd, Joyce Mantilla was much more optimistic about the relationship between the Ministry of Cultures and the researchers doing the research on the Nazca specimens. But evidently, things didn't go well, and now they are classifying some of the results about these beings. And we're still in the fog of war on exactly what's going on here. I know there's been at least one interview that has happened. It's in Spanish about this. So hopefully I'll be able to get more information about specifically what's going on, why these two specific results are classified. And if you see it before I do, let me know. But there you go. Scientists and doctors saying the Nazca mummies are legit. And at the same time, the Ministry of Culture still obfuscating, still trying to hide the truth, classifying some stuff seemingly based on the available information. At least that's what Jaime Maussan is saying. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense again. So I think there's some connective tissue missing somewhere. But the Nazca mummies are legit. They are being studied by credible scientists from around the world. And the truth is getting out there slowly and surely. I can't wait to see what the next shoe is to drop in the Nazca mummy case. It sure would help the next shoe to drop if the Ministry of Culture would get out of the way and stop, lying about the truth of these beings, because they were non-human beings that were living amongst the peoples of the time who depicted them in their artwork, their textiles, and their pottery. And similar beings are depicted in the artworks of people around the world. These beings don't seem to have been limited to Nazca. They were all over the world, or many different parts of the world, along with various other beings. Were those other beings hybrids also? Were some of them the creator beings? I'd love to know, guys. I'd love to know the truth of it all. Let me know your theories and exactly what it means that the Ministry of Culture seems to be classifying, marking the results of the, radiation carbon dating as classified for those two specific mummies. I don't get that. But let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. Like and subscribe, smash the bell, and buy a t-shirt. And see you next time, guys. This is Jack with Cosmic Road signing out.